Number 11 seconds. She blocked me in 11 seconds. I know because I checked the timestamp. 6:17 a.m., the email was opened. 6:18 a.m., my number disappeared into whatever void numbers go when someone decides you don't exist anymore. 47 pages of documentation, bank records, screenshots, IP addresses, a stock photo traced back to a Getty Images listing from 2019, and her response was 11 seconds of reading before she chose the wall. I made coffee after that. French press, the kind that takes 7 minutes and smells like something worth waking up for. I stood at my kitchen window watching Denver come alive below me and thought, that's it, then. That's who she is, But I'm ahead of myself. Let me take you back to the morning the number changed. January 11th, 2024. 7:43 a.m. I was in my pajamas. Coffee mug warm in my hand, laptop open on the counter. The email subject line read, urgent, rent payment returned. I read it twice, set down the mug, and opened my bank app. The week before, my Ally Savings account had shown $31,412. Now it showed $18,329. I scrolled to the transaction history. My hands weren't shaking yet, that came later. Right then I was just very still, very quiet, the way you get when your brain is processing something it doesn't want to be true. January 8th, withdrawal. $31,000 even. Authorized signer, Patricia Blahet *. My mother's name. I clicked on the account details. Joint account, opened June 2015. I'd been 18. Home from my first year of college. My mother had suggested it over dinner, just in case something happens while you're away, honey, if there's an emergency and you can't access your account, and I'd signed the paperwork without thinking twice. 11 years ago. I'd completely forgotten the account was joint. She'd never touched it. Not once in a decade. Until she did. I called the bank. 11 minutes on hold, smooth jazz that made my skin feel wrong. The representative was polite and completely useless. Ma'am, any joint account holder has full withdrawal rights. The transaction was processed normally. So she can just, without asking, legally. If you'd like sole control of future accounts, I'd recommend closing this one. I hung up. The apartment was very quiet, very cold. I'd kept the heat low all winter to save money. Always saving. Spreadsheets. 63 clients. Wedding invitations for couples I'd never meet. Late nights staring at Adobe Illustrator trying to make someone else's vision make sense. 4 years of that. Plus $12,000 from a student loan refund. Every cheap grocery store, every no to drinks with friends, every choice that meant the balance went up instead of down. Gone. Tuesday morning. While I was still in my pajamas. I called my mother. She answered on the 6th ring. Oh, honey. I was going to tell you. Her voice was too bright. In the background, the television. The familiar sounds of the house I grew up in. And underneath it, my sister Courtney laughing at something. Tell me what. Courtney found something real, Nat. A boutique. Skincare and wellness. She needed capital fast or she'd lose the lease. You have that good job now. You can rebuild, What lease, Mom? What boutique? In Fort Collins, near Old Town. Prime location. She's been planning, What's the address? A pause. Half a second too long. I don't have it memorized. Why are you interrogating me? I was already getting my keys. The drive from Denver to Fort Collins is 65 miles. I-25 north, exit 269B. Mountains to the west, snow-capped even in January. I didn't rehearse anything. Didn't plan. Just drove. Their house looked exactly the same. Chipped blue paint on the doorframe. Courtney's car in the driveway. The vanilla candle smell hit me the moment my mother opened the door, Target brand, always, and everything was so familiar and so wrong at the same time. Courtney was on the couch scrolling her phone. HGTV on mute. Asterisk, where's the boutique? Asterisk. She looked up. Confused. Genuinely confused. Asterisk, what boutique? Asterisk. Asterisk, the skincare and wellness boutique. The one Mom invested $31,000 in. Asterisk. Courtney's face went blank. Then she turned to our mother slowly, the way you turn toward a sound you don't understand. Asterisk, Mom. What is she talking about? Asterisk. And that's when the room tilted. I'd expected my mother to lie. I hadn't expected Courtney to be standing on the same side of the line as me. I work at Target, Courtney said. Asterisk, I don't have a business. I'm not starting a business. Asterisk. My mother's voice climbed. Asterisk, you don't understand how hard it is. Courtney needs support. You've always been fine on your own, Natalie. You don't need, asterisk. Asterisk, that money was mine. Asterisk. Asterisk, and I'm your mother. I made a decision for this family. Asterisk. I left without yelling. Drove back to Denver in silence. That night I packed 17 boxes with tape that squeaked every time I pulled it across the seams. At 11:38 p.m. I texted, I need the $31,000 returned by February 1st or I'm filing a police report. 4 minutes later, asterisk, I can't believe you'd threaten me like this. Courtney is crying. You're tearing this family apart, asterisk. February 1st came. No payment. I moved out. I blocked her. I blocked Courtney. The silence began. But here's what you need to understand. This didn't start in January 2024. It started the morning I was 8 years old and my father sat us down at the kitchen table, the same table where my mother would eventually tell me she was giving away my money, and told us he'd met someone else. That sometimes people grow apart. My mother cried. Courtney, who was 11, put her arm around her. Already the comforter. Already the favorite. I sat there holding my stuffed rabbit, trying to understand what grow apart meant. My father looked at me one last time. You look just like me, he said. Then he was gone. Remarried within a year. New family in Austin. 2 more kids. Not a single birthday card. My mother never forgave the resemblance. Every time she looked at me, she saw the man who left. Courtney looked like my grandmother, delicate, graceful, full of potential. My mother poured everything into her. Asterisk, you're going to be special. You're going to do something amazing, asterisk. To me, she said, asterisk, you're so good at taking care of yourself. I never have to worry about you, asterisk. Independence wasn't a compliment. It was abandonment dressed up as praise. Courtney's bedroom was redecorated in 2009. Mine stayed the same from 2003 until I left. When Courtney ran for homecoming queen, my mother spent $320 on campaign posters, a dress, locker decorations. That same year, I needed $85 for college application fees. Can you use your babysitting money? I used my babysitting money for everything. SAT prep books. Art supplies. Cap and gown rental. Gas money to visit colleges. I graduated with $4,200 saved. Courtney graduated with a new car my mother co-signed for. The pattern continued. MLM skincare in 2016, $1,200. Online boutique that never launched, $2,100. Wellness coaching certification in 2020, $890, 0 clients. Every time, asterisk she just needs the right opportunity. She has such potential asterisk. Meanwhile I worked 2 jobs through college, paid off $18,000 in student loans by 24, got a design job at a small agency in Denver, lived with roommates, took the bus, made my lunch, saved every spare dollar. My mother's only comment, asterisk see? You're so capable. You don't need anyone's help, asterisk. I learned in therapy what that actually meant. My mother didn't favor Courtney despite me. She favored Courtney because of me. Courtney was the projection, the second chance, the dream daughter who would do everything my mother never did. And I was the girl who looked like the man who chose someone else, which meant I could succeed or fail and it wouldn't matter, because I was never the point of her story. I threw myself into work after I moved out. 3 days after the new apartment, my boss Grayson called me into his office. Pour over coffee, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Larimer Street. He slid a portfolio across the table. My work from the past 8 months. 3 complete rebrands. Packaging for a local brewery that won a regional AIGA award. Client retention rate, 89%. Asterisk we're opening a creative director position. Clients ask for you by name. That's rare. I want to build around that. Asterisk. The offer, $96,000 a year, 4% equity. I accepted on the spot. My mother never knew. She was already blocked. She never knew the same month she stole from me was the month everything I'd been building came together. She got to keep her version of me, the one who was wasting it anyway. She never saw the other version. The real one. The one I'd been building the entire time. By December, I'd rebuilt my savings to $8,900. Not $31,000. Not even close. But it was in a new account, at a different bank, with only my name on it. 2-factor authentication. Transaction alerts set for anything over $20. I went to therapy every Thursday at 6 p.m. Dr. Vasquez's office had a gray couch and too many plants and a box of tissues I used more than I wanted to admit. Asterisk, what would it mean to you if you never got that money back? Asterisk, she asked me in October. Asterisk, it would mean I was right to leave. Asterisk. Asterisk, is that true? Asterisk. I thought about it. Asterisk, no. I was right to leave either way. But getting it back would mean she admitted she was wrong. Asterisk. Asterisk, and you don't think that's going to happen? Asterisk. Asterisk, I don't think she's capable of it. Asterisk. March 3, 2026. Tuesday morning. 6:15 a.m. I was scrolling LinkedIn while my coffee brewed when I saw the notification. Jessica Hartwell sent you a message. I didn't recognize the name. Clicked the profile first. Professional headshot, blonde woman, mid-30s, serious smile. Co-founder and CMO of something called Bloom & Company. MBA from University of Denver. 3 connections. Account created February 2026. Something cold settled in my chest immediately. Not panic. Certainty. The particular certainty of recognizing a pattern you've seen before. 3 connections. No posts. No activity. No endorsements. Brand new. I screenshotted the profile. Then I read the message. Asterisk, hi Natalie, I'm reaching out because your sister Courtney and I co-founded Bloom & Company in 2024. We've hit a situation with some unpaid vendor invoices and I haven't been able to reach her. Could you help connect us? It's somewhat urgent asterisk. My stomach didn't drop. It went very, very still. Courtney didn't have a business. I'd confirmed that 2 years ago standing in my mother's living room. And yet here was the same lie, skincare and wellness, wearing a new face and a stock blazer. I right-clicked the profile photo. Reverse image search. Results, asterisk pixel stock photo. Professional businesswoman. Uploaded June 2019. Downloaded over 18,000 times asterisk. I searched for Bloom and Company in the Colorado Secretary of State's database. Nothing. Not an LLC, not a corporation, not a DBA. The business had never existed. But I needed to know who. I sent Jessica a message suggesting a video call. She replied within an hour, from a Gmail address. I embedded a tracking pixel in my response, a tiny invisible image that pings location data when an email is opened. Freelancers use it to track when clients read proposals. Legal. Available to anyone. The email was opened at 8:15 p.m. IP address, Comcast. Location, Fort Collins, Colorado. Zip code 80526. My mother's zip code. I sat at my kitchen table and built the folder. Screenshot after screenshot. The fake profile. The stock photo results. The non-existent company. The IP address mapping back to her house. I named it Evidence March 2026 and I made it 47 pages long. Then I did something I hadn't done in 2 years. I broke the silence. I texted Courtney from a new number. Asterisk, do you have a business called Bloom and Company? Asterisk. 6 hours later, asterisk what? No. Who is this, asterisk? We went back and forth for an hour. Courtney told me things I didn't know. That our mother had borrowed $1,800 from her the previous year and never repaid it. That she'd been secretive, stressed about money, spending strange amounts of time on her phone. That she'd mentioned an investment opportunity but stayed vague whenever Courtney asked for details. Has she mentioned anyone named Todd? Who's Todd? I didn't answer right away. Because I had a theory. A dark, sad, specific theory about loneliness and the internet and what happens when someone who has spent 21 years alone finally gets a message that says you're special. I've never connected with anyone like you. Can you check her Safari history on the family iPad? Courtney sent screenshots 20 minutes later. Match.com, active profile. And messages, so many messages, with someone named Todd Brennan. I requested my full bank records. Then I found my mother's Venmo. She'd never changed her privacy settings. I found her profile, scrolled her transaction history, and started adding numbers in a spreadsheet. 18 payments between October and December 2023. All to Todd B. 500. 1200. 3000. 2800. On and on. Total, $31,200. Todd's profile had zero information. No photo, no bio. Joined October 2023. Zero other activity. A ghost that appeared long enough to collect money and then evaporated. Courtney sent me the Match.com messages. I read them the way you read something you already know the ending to but have to confirm anyway. October 2nd through 15th, love bombing. Asterisk, you understand struggle. That's rare. I've never connected with someone like this asterisk. October 16th, the first vulnerability. Asterisk, I'm recovering from a gambling problem. I'm almost free. Just need to clear this last debt asterisk. November 1st, the first ask. Asterisk, baby, I hate to ask, but there's a business emergency. Just $500 to get me through the week. I'll pay you back with my first contract asterisk. She said yes. She said yes to all of it. November, December, every ask, every promise, every I'll pay you back, just this once, just this last time. December 18th, I need 15,000. I know it's a lot, but this is the last time. After this, we're free. We can start our life together. My mother didn't have 15,000. But she had access to my account. The joint account. The one I'd forgotten about. The one with my $31,000. Todd's last message came January 15th, 2024, 1 week after the final transfer landed. Work sending me overseas, spotty reception. We'll connect soon. Love you, Trish. Then nothing. My mother sent 47 messages after that. Todd, are you okay? Please just let me know you're safe. Did I do something wrong? Todd, please. All undelivered. The profile was deactivated January 20th. Her last message was sent February 14th, 2025. Valentine's Day. 1 year after he disappeared. I still think about you. Undelivered. I sat with that for a full day. My mother was a victim too. Someone had found her, 21 years single, bitter about the life she'd ended up with, desperate for someone to see her and choose her and promise her a fresh start. They'd used her loneliness like a tool. Taken her savings, and when those ran out, she'd turned to mine. Not out of malice. Out of desperation. Out of shame so complete she couldn't face what she'd done, so she invented Courtney's boutique instead. Made Courtney the excuse because I fell in love with a stranger on the internet and he took everything was a sentence she couldn't say out loud. And 2 years later, still broke, still ashamed, still unable to tell the truth, she'd tried again. Built Jessica Hartwell out of a stock photo and a Gmail address and the same thin story dressed in different clothes. I held that compassion for exactly 1 day. Then I built the PDF. 47 pages. Table of contents. Section headers. Professional formatting. Bank records. Venmo transactions. Match.com screenshots. The fake LinkedIn profile. The stock photo. The IP address. The non-existent company. A full timeline. Cross-referenced. This wasn't revenge. It was documentation. It was saying, I see exactly what you did. I know exactly who you are. And you cannot rewrite this. March 8, 2026. 6:15 a.m. I composed the email. Subject line, Evidence Package, March 8, 2026. The body was brief. Clinical. 3 sentences. Mom. I know about Todd. I know about the fake LinkedIn profile. I know about the IP address. Everything is documented in the attached file. We need to talk, but first, read this. I attached the PDF. Hovered over send. Thought about the explosion coming, the denial, the accusations. Clicked. 6:17 a.m. Email opened. 6:18 a.m. Blocked. 11 seconds. At 9:47 a.m. a voicemail came through from her work number. 3 minutes and 18 seconds. I listened in my car at lunch, windows fogged from the cold. She was crying. Words barely coherent. I made a mistake, okay? I was lonely. He said he loved me. You don't know what that's like. You've always been fine on your own. I needed that money, I was going to pay you back. How could you dig all this up? How could you humiliate me? I'm your mother. I gave birth to you. I raised you. And this is how you repay me, *. The voicemail ended. I saved it. Added it to the evidence folder. Then I texted Courtney. Asterisk pack everything. You're not going back asterisk. We moved her out while our mother was at work. U-Haul, 2 hours, barely any talking. Just box after box carried down the stairs and loaded efficiently into a truck. We left her house keys on the kitchen counter with a note that said, "I'll be in touch when I'm ready." The drive back to Denver was quiet for the first 20 minutes. Then Courtney said, asterisk, she told me you'd be miserable without her. That you'd come crawling back. Asterisk. Asterisk, she was wrong. Asterisk. Asterisk, I know that now. But I believed her. For 2 years, I watched you not come back and I kept waiting for you to fall apart. Asterisk, a pause. Asterisk, you got promoted. You have friends. You have your own life. Your asterisk, she stopped. Asterisk, she said you'd have nothing without us. Asterisk. Asterisk, what do you think now? Asterisk. Asterisk, I think she was describing herself. Asterisk. My attorney's name was Laura Chen. 20th floor, windows overlooking the mountains, yellow legal pad, neat handwriting. I paid the $450 consultation fee from savings I'd rebuilt dollar by dollar. She reviewed all 47 pages. Then she leaned back. Asterisk, strong civil case. Conversion, unjust enrichment, breach of fiduciary duty. But I need to be honest, it'll be expensive and long, and your mother makes $38,000 a year. Even if you win, collecting is another battle. You might never see the full amount. Asterisk, a pause. Asterisk, so I need to ask, what do you actually want? Asterisk. I thought about it. Asterisk, accountability. And insurance, she never does this again. Asterisk. Asterisk, then let's draft a demand letter. Payment plan, $200 a month. Therapy requirement. No contact period. And we make clear that if she violates any term, you pursue criminal charges and release the documentation. Asterisk. The letter went certified mail March 15th, delivery confirmed March 19th, response deadline March 28th. We waited. March 25th, compliance arrived through her attorney. Payment plan accepted. Therapy verification agreed. No contact period honored. No admission of wrongdoing. It's a win, Laura said. Asterisk, it doesn't feel like winning. Asterisk. Asterisk, it rarely does. You wanted her to say she was sorry. To choose you over her pride. She won't. Maybe never. But you got consequences. For a lot of people, that's as close to justice as it gets. Asterisk. At $200 a month, it would take 12 years and 11 months to recover $31,000. I'd be 41 years old when the last payment came through. If it came through. If she didn't default. If she didn't disappear. I set up a separate account for it. Named it Restitution Recovery, current balance, 0. But growing. Courtney got a studio in Capitol Hill. Move in April 1st. We celebrated with Thai takeout eaten straight from the containers, spring rolls and pad Thai, paint swatches spread across my coffee table. I don't actually want a business, she said that night. Asterisk, I just want my own apartment and a cat. Is that pathetic? Asterisk. Asterisk, that's the sanest thing you've ever said. Asterisk. She texted me a few days later. A photo of a gray tabby at the shelter. Too soon to adopt? Asterisk, never too soon. What are you naming her? Asterisk. A pause. Then. Free. I go to therapy every Thursday at 6. Same gray couch, same too many plants. Dr. Vasquez asked me recently how I was feeling about the resolution. Asterisk hollow. relieved, angry, sad. All of it at the same time. Asterisk. Asterisk, that's grief. You're not just grieving the money. You're grieving the mother you deserved. The relationship that never existed. The fantasy that if you just did everything right, she'd finally see you. Asterisk. Asterisk, I know that intellectually. Asterisk. Asterisk, you don't have to know it all the way down yet. What matters is that you're not waiting anymore. You're not holding your life hostage to her potential change. Asterisk. Asterisk, I'm building anyway. Asterisk. Asterisk, you're building anyway. Asterisk. Some evenings after I close the office, I make French press coffee, the kind that takes 7 minutes and smells like something worth waking up for, and sit at my kitchen window watching Denver settle into night. I think about my mother. Not with hate. With something more complicated and more quiet. She was a woman who spent 21 years alone, who poured everything she had into a daughter who kept failing to become the dream, who one day opened a message from a stranger that said, "You're special, I've never connected with anyone like you," and she believed it, because she'd been waiting to be chosen for so long that she couldn't recognize the shape of the trap. I understand that. Understanding doesn't mean accepting. But it means I can hold the whole picture. A woman who was both victim and thief. Who was manipulated by a stranger and then used her own daughter to cover the wound. Who, when handed 47 pages of documented truth, chose 11 seconds of reading before she chose the wall. Context doesn't cancel accountability. But it tells you the shape of things. My savings sit at $14,800 now. Not $31,000. Growing, though, in an account with only my name, at a bank she can't touch, with alerts set for every transaction over $20. Courtney sends me photos of Freak curled on the windowsill. We have coffee on Tuesday mornings when she's not opening at Target. We don't talk about our mother much. We don't need to. My career is real. My friendships are real. My skills are real. All of it built without her permission. Without her validation. Without her even watching. She blocked me in 11 seconds. But it took her a decade to finish stealing from me, 2 years to try again, and 47 pages to end it, and I was the one who wrote every single page. The first restitution payment arrives April 1st. $200. I'll transfer it to the account, watch the balance tick from 0 to 200, and then I'll make coffee, French press, 7 minutes, and go to work. 154 payments after that. 12 years, 11 months. I have time.